Welcome back for a crypto weekend update with Trading Rolly. Looking at the Bitcoin chart, we'll look at the altcoin charts, a couple headlines, do the usual TA. So hit that like. Thank you for the comments. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tick the bell for notifications. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research. Trade at your own risk. I am not your financial advisor. All right. We'll get into the Bitcoin chart momentarily, but look at this clean resistance downtrend broken, found support above it, broke above the all-time high. Previous all-time high was here around 23,800 and finding support above it currently on the 15-minute chart. We'll jump back into that. Look at some altcoins. I do want to go through some of the headlines a little faster so I can spend more time with the charts. That was my Twitter at Trading Rolly. So looking at the markets here, you can see in the green from yesterday. So Bitcoin's up 4.9% last 24 hours. You can see 4% for XRP. Litecoin still chugging along, 13%, 10% for Binance Coin. I know I don't talk about Binance Coin or BNB very often here. I do like BNB. I think it's a good utility coin. I just do not trade on Binance anymore. Ever since they, did the Binance US and you had to change, whatever. Left it alone. I do like BNB. I wish I could hold some, but it's not that big of a deal. There's so many other great coins out here, all in the green, right? Moving on. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're at a 93. We'll get an update in 3 hours. We've been up really high. I don't know if we've ever... Let's look at the max time frame here. This is the longest we've stayed in this range since this has started. This goes back to February 2018. So I imagine if we had this Fear and Greed Index in 2017, you may have seen something like that as well. Guys, we broke through 20K. We're definitely going to be feeling euphoric. So you could be cautious when we're euphoric, but at the same time, breaking that 20K, we broke that massive resistance. We're in an uptrend. Now we have a higher high on the macro. It's not time to be bearish when you're making all-time highs, all right? Let's look at some headlines real quick. Michael Saylor in the news again. MicroStrategy Michael Saylor says Bitcoin could save Tesla and Fortune 500 companies billions of dollars, basically arguing that holding, if you've got $20 billion worth of monetary energy today, it's losing 15% of its purchasing power a year. He's basically encouraging these companies to put some of their money on their balance sheet onto Bitcoin, because if you're just holding cash, you're losing value each year due to inflation. So you might as well put some on Bitcoin to hedge against the inflation, and not only hedge against it, but double your money possibly, okay? Expect to double your purchasing power every year for the next 3 years. So why not put $1 billion in it? It'll be worth $8 billion in 3 years. We're rooting for Michael Saylor because Michael Saylor is rooting for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, why a position above 20K may be the new norm. Basically, 20K was the ceiling, and often we would like to see resistance flipped as support. Okay, so potentially down the road, we'll create a support level of 20K. We'll look at the chart. But yeah, I mean, anything under 20K was a great time for accumulation. The rally is beginning. The rally's now, so we could go higher, and 20K will be a normal price. It might even be a cheap price. Looking down the road, end of 2021, where could we be? Could be a lot higher. So 20K could be still cheap, right? Litecoin, it's only expensive for the people that have been involved for a long time. But if you've never owned Bitcoin and you know that the time is now, it doesn't matter. You're going to buy 20K, you're going to buy 30K. You'll probably buy 50K at some point, right? Litecoin Awakens. So we've seen Litecoin booming. It's basically, following this Litecoin as the digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold narrative. all the newcomers that come into crypto, they're going to hear of Bitcoin first. Then they're going to say, oh, Litecoin is the silver to gold. It's a lot cheaper. Maybe I should own some of that. So, that's why I've been talking about the majors, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP. They should do well. Top 10 coins should do well in the bull market. And then I was scrolling down and I found this thing called, it was talking about an alt season index. I looked it up. You can Google it. Altcoin season index. It's the blockchaincenter.net up here in the left corner. And I'll have to dive into this a little more on my own time. Thought it was interesting. I haven't seen this before. According to this, we're still in Bitcoin season. According to the altcoin year index, the altcoin month index, and the season index, we're still in a Bitcoin season. So maybe if we'll monitor this, if this starts shifting to the altcoin season, are we seeing the altcoins pump? Probably lines up with the Bitcoin dominance falling. We'll look at that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the charts. Bitcoin getting a little bounce off this. So yeah, we were looking at this downtrend resistance, and you finally broke. You had 1 point, 2 point, 3 here, broke above it, found support, and finding support above that previous all-time high. This is at 23,800. There was a flatline horizontal support right here around 23,000 or 22,300. We can extend that. It might come into play later if we happen to drop. Looking at the moving averages, you're above your yellow 21 EMA, so you did bounce off that. Still above all moving averages, even on the lower time frames, so we could get another leg up. I mean, it's like a magnet is pulling the price up. Guys, we've consolidated for a long time. Zoom out. Let's take the moving averages off. Okay. So what happened the last time you passed your all-time high? Look at that rally, okay? So it's almost a fractal. Exactly 3 years distance between that all-time high and the breakout was exactly 3 years, exactly the same as this one here, from the all-time high to our current breakout now. There was a couple pullbacks right here. So the pullbacks can happen, but each pullback came down to test that yellow 21 EMA, and it closed above. You had them tested, but always closed above either the yellow 21 EMA or that pink 10 simple. So if we happen to drop, we would like the same thing to happen. Your pink 10 simple rising up to 16,880, yellow 21 EMA at 14,897, and this will rise with this candle close. The weekly candle close will close tomorrow, so those prices will rise. So those are going to be the levels that you would want to maintain above to maintain that bull market, bull rally like we had before. So that's why above 20K could be the norm. Once you broke that all-time high and never even looked back, you never got a chance below that level. It doesn't have to be the exact same every time, but it definitely, the 3-year fractal is close enough. I mean, so let's see. Our stochastic still high up here, and it actually bounced off the orange, still pointed up. Look at that breakout. And see, this is what we wanted to see as well. We wanted to see a consolidation underneath that resistance, all-time high resistance, and a massive breakout. And decent volume. I like the volume. We could, fall back, retest some of these levels as support. But at least you see a rise in volume there to coincide with the breakout. If there's no volume on a breakout, it's usually a fake out. But considering, I think we're leaving this territory of ranging accumulation. And I think the investors and the whales, they're done accumulating and they're ready to make some money. So they're pushing the price. And then the retail will FOMO. All right, let's 9 minutes. Let's focus. What do we want to do? This is your weekend update. We'll take a look at some altcoins. Let's just do a quick look at the Bitcoin indicators and then go over to the altcoins. Putting in green daily candles, looking good here above all moving averages. A bit separated, so at some point, do we consolidate or revisit down lower? So either it could drop down. Support on the daily would be 20,400. Your yellow 21 EMA almost at 20K also. So if you stay above those key levels on the daily, you might not dip below 20K either. Or it can consolidate sideways and allow these to rise and then potentially add support like we saw here. You see this took off and it consolidated, kind of still moving up, but it allowed the pink 10 simple to catch up and then provide that support along that whole rally. The 10 simple was beautiful. So definitely, I like the 10 simple moving average, 21 EMA exponential moving average, the 50 simple moving average, 200 EMA, and 200 simple. Those are the ones that I'm using here if you are curious about that. Your daily Stoke still crossed up and rising. Still looks bullish there. After breaking that downtrend on the RSI, still rising. Now, if we did get rejected here and your RSI, so let's just hypothetical say you did come back down to retest some support and this RSI came down, that would be a bit of bearish divergence. You would have a price, a higher high on price, and then your RSI trending down. Could be a bearish divergence signal, okay? But bearish signals in a macro uptrend are not as good of signals as they are in a bear market, okay? So you're more likely to be right following bull signals in a bull market. But we still, aware of these, definitely aware of these. But I wouldn't be so quick to be shorting. What do you, where do you think price is really going to go shorting? I feel like there's way more room to the upside than there is to the downside. What's your target to the downside? I mean, if we think we could go to 30K, 50K, 100K, that's a lot more profit than, say, going back down to 18K. I rather just, if we have a pull, I rather take some profits where I see fit along the way, and if we dip, have a buying opportunity to buy in at a cheaper discount. But I'm not trying to catch every little dip to short. That's just me. You can do what you guys like because this is not financial advice. On the 4 hour, bouncing off that pink 10 simple, it's good to see as well. And your stochastic is, excuse me, pardon me. I always do this. Once I get that drawing tool on, always causes problems. All right, trying to cross up on the 4 hour Stoke. And if the price can bounce off of that level, this is getting messy here. If the price can bounce off of that level we were looking at on the 15-minute time frame, you can see there, if it can hold that support above 13 or above 23,800, and it looks like you're getting that bounce. You're getting the Stoke cross up on the 15-minute. If that can play out, your 4 hours should get a nice cross up, and then the daily would close as another daily green candle. So continuation, another all-time high, looks good. 30K is my target. That's using a 1.618 extension. If you go out to the weekly and you do a quick fib, retrace from that top at 20K to 3K, and then do the extension, your 1.618 is giving it 29,200. Okay, so maybe you get some sellers right around 29,000, or it'll either get rejected before the target, or maybe we overshoot the target a little bit. Who knows? But there will be people that want to take some profits before you get to the ultimate target, of course. Okay. But yeah, looking good so far. I don't see why not. I mean, there's no previous price action resistance. We're in discovery mode, blue sky breakout, as they say. All right. I mean, it does look a little ridiculous here, but so did this. All right. Look at that. Look at that. So if you compare the two, let's see, from that bottom to there, and let's say, I don't know, this log chart's making it a little more difficult, but they should be relatively the same. It's just, it's a log chart. That would take us right around where we are. You know what? I was just trying something, experimenting. I don't like it. I don't like it. We'll get back to that. Forgive me. Let's go to let's go to the Bitcoin dominance. See if the altcoins are going to pump this weekend. They do well on the weekends because the retail loves the altcoins. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes in. I'm not going to start this video all over again. I don't know. Basically, what I was trying to say is if you look at how long this rally lasted, this rally went on for a while. I mean, this was from September 2015 to December 2017. So, you know, if we have something like that and we started, let's say, here, we still have another full year of a rally at least. Okay, so this was about half a year. This was about half a year, and then you had a full year there. We should have another full year there if the fractal is playing out. Okay, so going to the Bitcoin dominance on the daily, you have that support trend line we were talking about yesterday. Your Stochh is high, your RSI getting to that level 2. We're watching, so right now Bitcoin's leading the show. You're doing well just holding Bitcoin. Of course, the altcoins are rallying too, but if the Bitcoin dominance is rising, it's actually outperforming a majority of the altcoins. So you were better off just holding Bitcoin. But once that dominance falls, that's when people are moving their Bitcoin profits to the altcoins, and you're going to see large gains with the altcoins for sure. So let's just go ahead and look at a few of those. Looking at Ethereum. So you were in that ascending triangle, getting that breakout, finding support above 620. 620 was a key level using previous price action. You can see that here. And breaking above it, so resistance, we'd like to flip that as support. And you can see we've already had a couple daily candles bounce off of that level, moving up nicely. And you're above all moving averages. Looks good. Going down to 4 hour, you have immediate support on your pink 10 simple on the 4 hour at 652. Yellow 21 EMA rising at 642. Your 4 hour getting a cross up right now. Looks like it's ready to go. Looks like it's ready to go. A solid daily candle potentially here as well. Again, though, if you do get a rejection, if this is a local top, you're going to have bearish divergence there, rising price, falling RSI, but it's not a confirmed local top yet. This price can continue higher, and if the price continues higher, the RSI will continue higher, and you will not have that bearish divergence there. And we're looking at a price target of around $800. That previous peak there. Your weekly Stochh still crossed up. No reason to jump ship. Weekly still rising on the Ethereum. Daily still rising. And 4 hour crossed up, bullish, and getting another leg up potentially here. You just need to break this resistance, I would say. On a 4 hour, you want to close above 666. Uh-oh. Let's just call it 667. All right, so you would have closed above 667 for Ethereum. Take another leg up. Basically, you're hitting that resistance level, and again, you're putting in rising support, potential ascending triangle. Ascending triangles in a bull market in a rally. These are just playing out time and time again. All right, plenty, still 3 hours left in that 4-hour candle, so we'll see. But it looks like it wants to do it. Your support 620, and then if you drop below that, you have this rising trend line that could play out down the road, and this would maybe look like more of I don't know, a channel, possibly how we were talking about on Bitcoin, possibly. You can draw trend lines for days. Horizontals, I think, are more important. So 620, previous resistance, we want to see that maintain as support. Okay. Litecoin, look at that. Let's look at the moving averages. Bouncing off that pink 10 simple, perfect. You can see here's another ascending triangle right there. Okay, so if you can get used to spotting these are playing out time and time again. An ascending triangle on a daily chart is going to have more validity, more power. I can put more faith in a daily ascending triangle. A 4-hour is going to be a little more risky, but I like 4-hour patterns. And then if you go down to a 1-hour, you'll see a lot of 1-hour patterns tend to be fake outs, or I don't know, you end up adjusting your pattern. A 15-minute, is really not reliable. So the longer the time frame, weekly, daily, 4-hour, 12-hour, the more reliable the pattern is. But you can see there's another ascending triangle on Litecoin bouncing off that pink 10 simple. Your 4-hour stoke crossed up as well. Whew, Litecoin. I'm sure some people are happy you were consolidating here in a symmetrical triangle, getting a breakout there. You could do a measured move, would be the top of that triangle to the bottom of the triangle, move it here, and we're basically hitting that target already as far as the pattern extended move. But you could also say that this was more like a possible, so that would be your first measured move. I don't really want to call it a bull flag necessarily, because it's over a longer period of time. So typically like a bull flag or a bull pennant will be a bit of a, let's say, more of an impulse move. So like, on a 4-hour, a beanstalk up, consolidation, and then another beanstalk up. This is more of a longer term move here. So you would measure the symmetrical triangle first, but then, just like a bull flag, you often repeat the previous move. Okay, so I know we're going to get to the same destination, but I'm just talking about the slight differences in the time frames. Okay, so you could potentially repeat that move, and that move, because these things charts, they move in patterns. That's why you're able to do these measured moves, and they kind of move in cycles. And this is just one of the ways you can predict potential price predictions. Okay, so that would take you to this level I've had marked out for a while, and that lines up with that peak. So we've been looking at this peak for quite some time, because basically you look for these peaks, these tops, as potential targets down the road. And it's just great when you can say, all right, this measured move from here to there after a consolidation, drag it, where would it take us? And it takes us basically right up to that level of previous resistance. So what is that level? That level is $139. We're at 122. We're already well on our way. If you go down to that 4-hour, and so this is more of a bull flag, I would say. This would be more of a technical bull flag, and you can take your measured move like that, drag it up here, and it takes us right to that 139 level. So any way you look at it, 139 Litecoin is the target, okay? And that's just using previous price action and some patterns and measured moves. your moving averages, that 4-hour support is down at 111. Yellow 21 EMA support 105. And if you dropped any lower, I would like to stay above that peak there around $94. And you can see you had a little bit of resistance right there at $94 as well. Okay? See how that played out, that previous peak? There, you hit that resistance, a little consolidation, and broke above it. All right. A lot of drawing tools there on Litecoin. All right. Woo! Cardano cross up on the 4-hour. It was lagging Ethereum and Litecoin for sure. Looks like a breakout from the symmetrical triangle. Now it's just hitting this horizontal resistance right here, 17.5 cents. So if it can break above 17.5 cents, we could see a higher price target. Let's zoom out, see where we're looking at. Previous peak all the way at 37 cents. So that's over 115% gain. And you can see resistance here. So if we could break out here, I don't see why not, okay? And 100% gain on our Cardano. Let's see, Cardano's market cap is 5 billion. So it would have to go to a 10 billion market cap. So an additional 5 billion. Bitcoin's at 442 billion. Litecoin's at 8 billion. So I think it's definitely doable. These targets are not unreasonable when you have 100 billion Bitcoin being added. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about Bitcoin's market cap at 350 billion. We've already added 90 billion to Bitcoin. Some of these profits are going to start flowing around. All right. That's why we're looking at the altcoins as well. It's been 27 minutes. I'll do XRP. We'll just go real quick through a few of them, okay? XRP, just look at our stochastics. Daily stoch crossed up, looks good. 4-hour stoch falling down. You want to see that 4-hour stoch cross back up. You're kind of in a symmetrical, a little bit of a consolidation here as well. A little support line there. This wick is too ugly to draw something like that right now. Probably, you could break that level, but I don't think it's that reliable. We'll have to wait. It could be more of a flat resistance. We'll have to see. But potential bull flag here, and that measured move, if you break out bullish from a consolidation there, it's going to take you to 80 cents. That was that previous peak there, which if you zoom out, you can see was resistance there. So I think 80 cents is a fair short-term target for XRP if everything stays bullish. That daily cross up from the bottom on the stoch is the indicator I like. All right, Stellar will do what Bitcoin or what XRP usually does, consolidating resistance at 22 cents. And then ultimately you have another resistance at 28 cents. Link, you're going to need to break this downtrend resistance around $16.50. Horizontal resistance, 17.70. And then ultimately your all-time high around $20. You're still holding that support, but I need to see something more bullish. It's a laggard. Link has definitely been a laggard right now, which can be good. You don't want to chase all of the coins that have already pumped. Sometimes you want to look at some of the laggards. If Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum are pumping, then maybe next will be Cardano and Link. Usually it'll be the top coins, and then your top 20 coins, and then the mid caps, 30, and then the low caps down at like 100, 200 rank, something like that. It usually flows in that order. Band still struggling with 750. That's the level to beat, but once you break that level, you could really pop right there. Tezos crossed up on the daily, putting in nice green candles. You're going to have a level to beat right here. You can just draw a horizontal support, flipped resistance. You're at that level right now. You can see that play out. So $2.40 is a critical level. If you can break 240, then you have a resistance level right here. Using that wick, these candle body closes. That would be your next target, $2.68. Then that previous top at $3, and then right here at $3.50. So you can see the trend of how I'm finding resistance levels and horizontals using peaks, wicks, candle body closes. You can see right here how you had resistance, 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 flip support. So that could be a level around $3.23. Dot ultimate resistance at 634. Nice rounding bottom consolidation, possibly a cup and handle where you have, this is the cup, this is the handle, and if you break that level, let's see, your measured move would be the bottom of the cup to the top of your horizontal. Drag that down here, bring it over here. That's about $8.89. We'll just say around $9 target. From that level, well, from our current level, it's about a 43% increase. So why not? I think that's feasible for DOT, especially let's look at its market cap. Polkadot, $5 billion. So what? You need about $2.5 billion added, about $7.5 billion market cap for sure. Why not? I mean, this is as long as we don't have a huge crash in Bitcoin. But the stock market's still holding up. And I know that they move different. Bitcoin and stocks move different on many days. But whenever there's a macro systematic market risk to all markets, like a black swan event, something like we had in March, that's going to affect everything. Okay. And so far, we're not seeing that. There's been doomsday people calling that for a while, all year. But looking good. The stimulus deadline is now, they pushed it to Sunday. If they can get that approved, you're going to see a bullish stock market, which can only be beneficial for Bitcoin. And not only is it going to add more money to the pockets of everyone, and now they can afford to buy more Bitcoin or more stocks, but also it's going to cause more inflation down the road, and Bitcoin's a hedge against inflation. So it's a win-win if they pass the stimulus. YFI daily stoke crossed up. I'm only going to do like two more, okay? You got a low and a higher low. We just need to break this high, okay? Because otherwise, what I'm afraid of, if we do get some kind of pullback, if you came back down here, this would look a lot like this head and shoulders over here. Excuse me. I did it again. You see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breakdown. It was classic textbook. And again, here you have a left shoulder, head. And if you dropped here, it would be a right shoulder. And you could drop back down to this level, back down to 13K potentially. So hopefully not. You're above all your moving averages, I believe. Above all your moving averages, we need to see this level hold support, this pink 10 simple to start rising as support. It's at 25,886. We need this to move on up and give us support to break up higher. Otherwise, possible another head and shoulders. All right, Aave looking to break out possibly. Possible ascending triangle. Yeah, you could do boom. You have a wick, so and a flat top horizontal, but you need the candle close, daily close. See how none of these dailies closed above it? Had a wick, and we've wicked above again, getting rejected again. So a daily close above $93-ish for that breakout. And then to finish off, GRT. They finally added it to TradingView. And there's not a lot to see. We got a 15-minute chart. We already hit 60 cents. And it dropped back down and bouncing again, pushing 48 cents. You got some pink 10 SMA support on the 15-minute. We'll keep our eye on this. If we could get to a billion, okay, the graph, 550 million market cap, right around 50 cents. So for it to go to $1, you're going to need it to go around a billion. I don't know what it is, but there's money sloshing around. I mean, Uniswap's only at 856. So I would think if it goes to a billion, I don't think it deserves a billion, but I think based on hype and we're in this euphoric stage of just put your money in, we're going to make money, there's a possibility we could hit it and maybe we pull back and maybe it finds a more reasonable value for something that's so brand new that most people don't even know what it is. So that's why I say a billion might be too high. I don't think it should be valued there, but we could see price move that way pretty quickly. I bought in around 15 cents, so I'm already up a lot. Like I said, this was like a casino roulette play. I'm looking for $1 possibly. If it hits $1, I'm going to take out at least half of it and then just let the other half sit and run. Who knows what happens down the road. It wasn't that big of a play. I'm not sweating over it. And it's not going to change my life if I take profits right now at 50 cents anyway. So might as well let it run, man. Let it run, let it run, let it run. It's just like a big leverage play. A small play on high leverage. How about that? All right. So that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for watching. If you haven't hit that like, hit the like, subscribe. And thank you for your comments recently, everybody. I'll be seeing you soon. Enjoy your weekend. Rolly roll.